We tend to view early childhood as a period of pure self-interest. You look at a toddler hoarding resources from a crying playmate, and it seems obvious that humans are born selfish, driven by survival instincts that require years of training to overcome. To test this assumption, developmental psychologists designed a controlled social experiment using puppets to observe cooperation in children under 2 years old. When researchers analyzed the emotional reactions of these toddlers, a surprising pattern emerged. The children displayed significantly higher markers of happiness when they were giving treats away to the puppet than when they were receiving treats themselves. This data showed that happiness peaked specifically during a process called costly giving. This is an act of generosity where the child forfeits their own personal resources rather than giving away a provided or found item. This presents a strange evolutionary puzzle. A vulnerable organism, dependent on outside resources to survive, experiences intense joy from sacrificing the very things it needs to sustain itself. This early generosity operates independently of social conditioning. It functions as a hardwired biological instinct built by evolution to ensure that the group survives. This diagram illustrates a framework researchers call the neurobiological return on investment, or NROI. The NROI model posits that pro-social behaviors generate immediate physiological benefits for the giver that outweigh the physical cost of the resource they gave away. Deep inside the brain, the ventral tegmental area serves as a central hub for our reward pathways. Here, reward circuits process the act of giving exactly the same way they process primary survival reinforcers, like eating food. The primary driver here is dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that acts as the brain's motivation molecule, and its sudden release creates the immediate physical sensation we often describe as a warm glow. Every time a person helps someone else, this dopaminergic response creates a positive feedback loop. The brain chemically logs the act of sacrifice as an intrinsically rewarding, repeatable behavior. The NROI model shows us that from a biological standpoint, generosity is never a pure loss. The brain guarantees an immediate, profitable payout to the giver. That instant dopamine hit is only the first phase of the reward. The secondary phase of this chemical cocktail is designed to regulate long-term stress. Pro-social acts and physical connection instantly trigger the release of oxytocin. Oxytocin is a neuropeptide produced in the hypothalamus that facilitates social bonding and emotional attachment. Oxytocin has a direct antagonistic relationship with cortisol. Cortisol is the body's primary stress hormone, responsible for increasing heart rate and blood pressure in high-tension situations. When giving triggers oxytocin, it biologically suppresses that cortisol, actively lowering the giver's blood pressure. Following the oxytocin release, the brain produces serotonin. Serotonin acts as a mood stabilizer, taking over after the initial dopamine rush fades, to provide a sense of calm and emotional balance. Practicing kindness serves as a tangible physiological shield, protecting the giver's heart, immune system, and mental health from the long-term ravages of stress. Over time, these repeated neurochemical cascades physically alter the architecture of a growing brain. They carve out resilient, permanent neural pathways. These strengthened pathways form the structural foundation of emotional intelligence, or EQ. EQ is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions in yourself while empathizing with others. This chart tracks long-term outcomes from childhood to adulthood, comparing high early IQ against high early prosocial behavior. The data reveals that a child's prosocial behavior in kindergarten is a far more reliable predictor of their adult stability, employment, and success than early IQ scores. Modeling generosity in the early years provides a data-backed strategy to upgrade a child's cognitive and emotional trajectory for the rest of their life. When you scale this effect out from the individual brain to the entire community, you generate social capital. This is the network of shared values and trust that allows a society to thrive collectively. And this network is built through propinquity. Propinquity is the principle that repeated, close proximity encounters, like small, consistent acts of kindness, signal trustworthiness and eventually forge deep social bonds. This diagram maps out the hierarchy of human interaction, showing altruism sitting at the absolute center. It acts as the core engine from which all other acceptable societal behaviors and collaborative actions radiate outward. Human generosity reveals itself as a sophisticated evolutionary mechanism. It ensures that an individual's biological pursuit of their own chemical happiness simultaneously weaves the safety net that sustains the entire species.